Good afternoon and welcome to the St. Paul Fire Class of 2022-C graduation ceremony. My name is Jeremy Baker. I'm the Deputy Chief of Training for the St. Paul Fire Department. It is my honor to open these proceedings for our 8 Academy graduates. This ceremony is a culmination of 14 weeks of intense and comprehensive training and builds upon 167 years of proud tradition and service to the residents and visitors of the city of St. Paul.
Prepare to left face, left face.
The St. Paul Fire Department Honor Guard, pipes and drums will now present the colors. Once posted, we will remain standing and recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
All uniform personnel, present honor.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order on. Rider left face.
Prepare to left face, left face. Prepare to uncover. Uncover.
You take your seats. Thank you. We'd like to thank the members of the St. Paul Firefighters Local 21 Honor Guard and also the Minnesota State Fire Service Memorial Pipe and Drum Band for their presentation and their dedication to the department. We are honored to have some special guests here today to help us celebrate. They have some messages for you, our newest firefighters. Mayor Carter, Deputy Mayor Jamie Tincher, Council President Bren Moen, and from Amy Klobuchar's office, Ruby DeBellis were kind enough to join our chiefs and our instructors on stage. The Mayor of St. Paul, Mr. Melvin Carter, it's my honor to invite you to the podium.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Wow, that's a hot mic. Good afternoon to you all. And I want to thank you all for the opportunity to join you today as we celebrate this exciting moment together. Chief Inks, to all of our firefighters, to our recruits, and certainly to the family members and friends and supporters here this afternoon, I want to thank you for coming and for your support, not just for this class, but for our St. Paul Fire Department and for our city as a whole. I'm the son of a retired St. Paul police officer and a St. Paul middle school teacher who is serving her final year as a public servant. I'm greatly honored to join you today as mayor of the city, but let me tell you, to all of the family members and friends here, I don't know what it's like to serve in one of these uniforms, but I do know firsthand what it's like to send a loved one in uniform. And I want to say thank you all, because I know that the work of keeping our community safe is truly a team sport. Especially during the worst of the pandemic, when our firefighters went above and beyond to provide support to our city, not only by addressing and fighting every single moment, some of our worst moments of civil unrest in our city, but by coming together to review bridge fund applications to help process emergency financial relief for St. Paul residents and St. Paul businesses. We've seen our St. Paul firefighters serve boldly to help ensure that residents experiencing unsheltered homelessness can connect to resources. We have seen in St. Paul over and over and over, especially these past few years, the fact that the men and women who wear the uniform of our St. Paul Fire Department are prepared, equipped, and up to the challenge of protecting our city through every single threat. That is a tradition that you 8, graduate into today. And it's a tradition that excites all of us. You've chosen to join an incredible department at a very exciting time. We are in the process right now of investing and transforming the ways in which we keep our community safe from the beginning. All across the board, we are embarking upon what we think of as the most comprehensive, the most coordinated, and the most data-driven approach to public safety that we've ever endeavored as a community. That starts with the recognition that public safety isn't just about getting there as soon as possible after a fire starts, or after someone is injured, or after something terrible has happened and someone calls 911. But keeping our city safe starts with making the type of data-driven, proactive investments that are required to reduce the amount of times that we have to call 911 in the first place. Our fire department has been very much at the center of that strategy, hosting our CARES team, hosting the ways in which we care for people in our community, hosting our BLS team, hosting a whole host of ways in which we can employ young people who live in our community in the task of keeping our community safe. We are working right now to make unprecedented investments in our fire department, from adding those BLS cadets that I talked about, to building our first new fire station in over a decade, to ensuring that that we're protecting our firefighters from the dangers that you knowingly embark upon through things like piloting saunas and different approaches like that, that I can tell you our fire chief is literally bringing into my office at least once a week, some new approach that we can take to connect our firefighters to opportunity. In 2019, we created our Basic Life Support Unit, who today handles about 17% of medical calls for service. That's thousands of calls offloaded in a way that allows our firefighters and paramedics to maintain our posture of readiness to respond to our most acute emergencies. This strategy has not only reduced our firefighters' workload and stress, but it has also reduced EMS response times by nearly a full minute. And I'll say, and this is what I always share with folks, a minute may sound like a small amount of time for all of us who are not experiencing a cardiac arrest right now. And so reducing our response time by a full minute is a life-saving intervention. These smart investments are working, and we will continue to invest in our fire department to ensure we meet the needs of our emergency responders and our growing community. To all of you here today, to Chief Inks, the Deputy Mayor, and our Public Safety Commissioner is here. Thank you so much for visiting with us today and joining us for this event as well. I just want to say to you all, congratulations. Thank you for signing up for a noble life of service. We thank you. We know that you have endured, you have studied You have trained to come to this point. And I know that the academy that's gotten you here, probably when you look upon it and share it with your family members, what one word you won't use is easy. We know the reason that's the case is because there's nothing about the journey that you're embarking on that will be easy. That said, the way through is the same as the way here. By relying on one another, by relying on your brother and sister firefighters, by relying on your training, and by staying connected to the individuals in this space who represent your support system to keep you physically, mentally, and emotionally whole so that you can bring your whole and best selves to the people of our city every single day. I know that we can trust you. I know that we can count on you to do that because you are joining the ranks of a whole lot of people who for a very long time have done exactly that for our city. Thank you for your service. Thank you for signing up, and we appreciate you being on Team St. Paul. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor Carter. Representing Senator Amy Klobuchar's office is Outreach Director Ruby DeBellis. Welcome, Ruby.
Thank you, Chief Baker, Chief Inks, Mayor Carter, Deputy Mayor, Council President. It's an honor to be here today in front of family, friends, and graduates to deliver a message from Senator Klobuchar. Dear graduates, congratulations on your milestone achievement. Though my schedule prevents me from being with you in person today, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize your tremendous success and to thank you for your service and sacrifice. It takes commitment and dedication to one's community to choose this profession, and I am so grateful that you all made that choice. This class of firefighters is special. All 8 of you are employees of the City of St. Paul. Some came from the Parks and Recreation Department, others from the Basic Life Support Division of the Fire Department and the Pathways Program. Your own Fire Chief, Bush Inks, has a similar story and just celebrated 35 years of service. I think that deserves a round of applause. No matter which department you started in, your commitment to the City of St. Paul is clear, and you deserve special recognition. This graduation is a product of your knowledge, skill, and commitment, as well as a testament to your talent, work ethic, and dedication to public service. I wish you continued success in the future, and I'm proud to serve you in the United States Senate. Sincerely, Amy Klobuchar, United States Senator. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ruby. It's my pleasure to invite our Fire Chief, Butch Inks, to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Oh, it is loud. Yeah. I'll step back a bit. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our celebration for the graduation of our 8 new firefighters. Thank you to our dignitaries that have taken the time out of their schedule to be here today, or send their thank you as well. Senator Klobuchar, Congresswoman McCollum, Mayor Carter, Deputy Mayor Tincher, Council President Brenmoen, the rest of the City Council, as well as newly appointed Commissioner Jacobson and Deputy Commissioner Jay Wood. Thank you all for being here. Your continued support of our department, our people, and our mission are very, very much noticed and appreciated. Your support is a clear indication of the priority you put on public safety and the success of these new firefighters. We're here today to welcome 8 new firefighters who are extremely important to our family of St. Paul firefighters and the residents we serve. Your graduation bolsters our ranks and could not come at a better time. With a hiring process that requires warmer weather and the cooperation of Mother Nature, we are months away from starting a new process and even longer from replenishing our ranks on the streets. We lose approximately 25 firefighters a year through natural attrition, and given the length of time it takes to vet our firefighters to actually hit the streets, you can see how valuable you 8 are, and the firefighters on the street are very much excited and appreciative that you are going to join their ranks soon. I would never discount your class size. My academy had 39 people in it. It took a while for us to even learn each other's names, and I imagine you guys got that down in about a day. You'll all probably, I have no doubt that the hands-on time on equipment, sets and reps, the student to instructor ratio, all gave you different opportunities than I had in a class of 39. Take advantage of that and embrace all of the training that you received, the one-on-one training that you received. Half of you will be going to the A shift, I understand. The other half will be going to the C shift. So as you plan out class reunions or class get-togethers, there's a designated day, which is the B shift, that you'll have available to get together. I'm envious of this small group and the lifelong bonds that you undoubtedly have formed. This job will challenge all of you in many different ways. Keep your bonds strong, look to each other for support, and take care of each other, as this profession is much bigger than just responding to fires. As the fire department closes out 2022, we will reach over 60,000 calls for service. Our run volume has significantly increased since I first joined the department, and so has the variety of emergencies we respond to. Our services have also grown since I came on and continue to evolve with the development of programs like our social worker response team, our air rescue team, which partners with the State Patrol, and our partners with other city departments, regional agencies, and community groups within the city that enable us to positively intervene on behalf of the residents, businesses, and visitors who call 911 requesting emergency services in the city of St. Paul. Through my almost 29 years of service with the fire department, and as was mentioned, my over 35 years with the city serving. And yes, I did start when I was 5. I've seen progressive change, not only in our fire department, but also our city. The fire service has been around for centuries, and our fire department, St. Paul Fire Department, is evolving. We're developing plans to become more efficient in the delivery of our services, creating plans that will allow us to absorb the future call volume growth, and creating positions that I would never have imagined when I first started. Today we have programs that create a pathway from high school graduate or city employee to the seats you're sitting in today. And what's great news is we're hiring. You know, anyone here that has been a part of one of our pathways, such as the Fire Explorer, our EMS Academy, Fire Medic Cadet program, or our BLS program, please raise your hand. You can see just what an impact all of these programs are making on our ability to keep our department strong and provide opportunities. As you can see, we are not just a fire department. I'd like to call us, and I call it, and I say it quite often, we're not just a fire department, we're an opportunity department. In 2019, we as a department formally adopted a new mission statement and core values encompassed in the acronym PRIDE. Our core values of professionalism, respect, integrity, duty, and equity are my charge to you today. Not just in the fire stations or while out in the community, but every day of your life, regardless of whether you are in uniform or civilian attire. Day one on this job, people will welcome you into their homes, hand you one of their children, or share very vulnerable or sensitive things about themselves to you. The public trust that the community has in all of us within public safety was earned by those that went before us and is maintained by every single one of us each day. Never betray that trust. I want to commend the professionalism of the training staff and their efforts in preparing you for everything you might encounter day one on the streets, which is, I believe, Saturday is some of your first days, New Year's Eve. What a day to start, huh? Happy New Year. The training division has done a remarkable job training not only you, but 2 other academies in the past year and 4 academies in the last 12 months. In total, we have replenished our ranks with 62 new firefighters in the last year, all thanks to the dedicated professionals within our training division and our administration staff. Tracy, I see you here today. I'm just going to say this. If it wasn't for Tracy pushing this timeline she always has, you would not be here today. Trust me. So thank you to your training staff, to our administration staff, and I just appreciate all the work that's gone in to get you here today. Before I leave the podium, I want to say thank you to the families, to the spouses, children, family members, and friends of the new firefighters and all of our department members. Your enduring sacrifice and the support you give our department allows us to serve our residents with proficiency, compassion, and pride. You keep us grounded, loved, supported, and successful. And everyone, we will always remember and appreciate that families also serve. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief Inks. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, Chief Inks, Assistant Chiefs, fellow firefighters, and Academy graduates. A successful firefighter training academy requires a significant team effort. The time investment occurs not only in the actual weeks of the academy, but also in the months of advanced work building on years of training and experience. It is no small feat to provide a recruit academy with all the training and instruction they need to meet all the hazards that will be thrown at them, and to do so in 14 weeks is nothing short of incredible. I'd like you to recognize the instructor cadre that we had for this academy, so I'll read off their names. Several are not able to be with us today, but we'll recognize them anyway. Captain Jeremy Maxey, Captain Martha Fecht, Captain Thad Albert, FEO Chris Kaufman, Firefighter Brian Buxton, Captain Mike Christofferson, if you're here, and Captain Steve Holmes. Are you here? This group was either full-time in charge of instructing this recruit academy or in some cases assisted voluntarily out of the kindness of their hearts and a desire to make these folks better and better prepared. So thank you to all of these folks for their dedication and hard work. Class of 2022-C, meaning third one. Third one in 2022. You are sitting in the seats right now that many people have sought and are still seeking. To be in these seats over the past 14 weeks, you have endured a rigorous and demanding fire academy. You've been pushed in the classroom with seemingly never-ending lessons, materials to digest and tests to pass. You've been pushed in physical training to be in the best shape of your life and exceed your own limits, capable of climbing many flights of stairs and fighting a fire at the top when you get there. You've been pushed to adapt and overcome when an obstacle is placed in your path and work as a team throughout it all. You've been pushed and you have succeeded. You will walk out of this academy and this graduation with the necessary skills to save lives, save property, and help thousands of people on what may be the worst day of their lives. You've been trained by experienced instructors on topics including vehicle extrication, hazardous materials, high-rise firefighting, firefighter safety and survival, rapid sequence innovation, medical emergencies, trauma care, and on and on. Your instructors have challenged you every day for 14 weeks to make sure you are ready, capable, and competent. Your families have undoubtedly been challenged in supporting your success over the past 14 weeks. We would like to thank all the family members and friends joining us today for the sacrifices you have made it to support these men and women in a successful completion of this academy. There is a saying in the fire service that Chief Inks also just mentioned. Firefighters aren't the only ones that serve. Firefighting families serve. Your service to our community does not go unnoticed. You are all now part of a firefighting family, which you will grow to understand is a tight-knit group that many times becomes your second family. Please join us in a round of applause for the families and loved ones who helped make their firefighters successful today. To the class of 22-C, in just a few minutes, you will be presented with a badge signifying your willingness to put your lives before others. You have worked hard for this honor. We are not giving you a badge. You have earned it. To earn it, you have successfully completed a 14-week academy in which you've risen to the challenge of accelerated classroom instruction, well above average physical demands. You successfully completed written tests, practical tests, state firefighter certifications, hazardous materials training, National Incident Management certifications, and live fire training. You also met the intense physical fitness demands, and thanks to Firefighter Buxton, FEO Kaufman, Captain Bodie, and the rest of the cadre, you have risen to that challenge and succeeded as well. That is no small accomplishment. The firefighters you are about to join take pride in being St. Paul firefighters, pride in working hard and serving and protecting all those we come in contact with. You should be proud of that accomplishment as well. Carry that pride and use it to continue the job of being the best firefighter, EMT, or paramedic you can be. You're moving on to a new chapter in your career. You're about to be promoted to the position of firefighter. Your challenge from today on is to continue to grow, stay fit and capable, and to learn each day that you come to work. For myself, the entire training cadre, and all those that helped you get ready, the rest of the St. Paul Fire Department, we wish you a long, safe, and successful career. At this time, I'd like to welcome Captain Martha Fecht to the podium. Captain Fecht has been the glue and driving force behind this and several of the last academies. It was Martha's task to schedule and coordinate every minute of every day for 14 weeks and try to keep it on schedule and make sure that you all receive a solid foundation to build your career upon. Martha?
The fire service in general, and the St. Paul Fire Department in particular, is known for its many traditions. A relatively new tradition that started in 2011 is the selection of a top recruit. The Top Recruit Award is determined by several criteria: academic grades, practical skills grades, training staff review, and a peer review process where each member of the class ranks all of the other members of their class in consideration of test scores, leadership, integrity, and character. I'm going to have the Academy instructors join me to present this award. As we analyze the numbers for this class, it was a close competition between several individuals who excelled in the different criteria. One individual did come out on top, though, and we would like to acknowledge Mark Doman as the class of 2022C top recruit. Mark, please join us and recognize your success. Congratulations, Mark.
Thank you, Martha. Congratulations, Mark. Another Academy tradition is the selection of a class speaker. The recruit class chooses the speaker themselves, and I would like again to invite Mark Doman to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out. As said previously, my name is Mark Doman, and I'm honored to be speaking today on behalf of myself and my classmates, the Academy class of 22C, on a day that for all of us marks a dream come true. In Viktor Frankl's novel titled Man's Search for Meaning, he references Nietzsche in stating that he who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. To see the St. Paul Fire Maltese on our shoulders today reminds us that we have found our why. To say that we have big shoes to fill would be an understatement, but I believe that we are ready for the challenge. This will be our how. I'd like to begin my address with a few recognitions and thank you to the many people and organizations that made this Academy and today possible. First and foremost, to the public, who after all are the reason that we got into this profession. We are now public servants. We exist in this career to serve the public. We must never forget that our primary purpose in this career is to protect and provide a service to the community with skill, dedication, and compassion. To the citizens of St. Paul, thank you for trusting us to be there for you in your time of need, whatever that may be. Thank you for believing in the future of this city and your willingness to work every day to make this a better place to work and live. Today, when we take our oath, We will promise to spend our careers searching for ways to give back to you who have given us our purpose. Next, I would like to thank Mayor Carter, Deputy Mayor Tincher, Chief Inks, Chief Gady, Chief Simpson, the rest of the chief staff, Local 21, and all the City of St. Paul administrative staff and departments that helped make today possible. We've been able to see firsthand the importance of a strong support system that a department receives from its city and its union. We're grateful and humbled to be welcomed into the St. Paul family. Speaking of family, to the families, friends, and loved ones of my Academy classmates, many of whom are here today, thank you for your perseverance and patience with us for these past 14 weeks. You've all been the backbone for us throughout this long and seemingly endless journey. I know that coming home every night hungry, tired, and sore with more studying to do is a tall order for not just a recruit, but for the families as well. I know my wife can attest to this. As we have often learned throughout this academy, as individuals, we are only as strong as our team, and you all have been our teammates, giving us motivation every day to move forward. Thank you for stepping up to help us achieve our goals. We couldn't have done it without you. To the Academy training staff, thank you. I'd like to recognize Chief Baker, Training Captain Maxey, Captain Bodie, Captain Fecht, Captain Albert, Captain Christofferson, Captain Holmes, FEO Kaufman, Training Assistant Buxton, and Firefighter Rossler, as well as the countless other officers and firefighters from the streets that took the time away from their busy shifts to share with us their wisdom and knowledge. Whether it was forcing doors, hazmat, vehicle extrication, working to perfect hose loads, or live burn days, we do not take for granted the effort it takes from the whole department to put on the academy. Thank you. To the cadre, thank you for seeing the potential in each and every one of us, even on the days that we may not have seen it ourselves. Thank you for constantly pushing us to our physical, mental, and emotional limits, all with the intention of showing us just how much more we are capable of than we ever thought possible. Your constant support and high expectations of us made us strive day in and day out to be the best versions of ourselves. You continued to raise the bar, and you made it clear to us that as long as we didn't give up on ourselves, that you would never give up on us. Thank you for leading by example and showing us what it means to be a good firefighter, and more importantly, a St. Paul firefighter. And finally, to my Academy classmates, it's been an honor and privilege to get to know you all and spend these past 14 weeks with you. How time flies. We both suffered and triumphed together. We have all had our good days and our bad days, but we never stopped reminding each other not to lose sight of the end goal. Whether it was contorted yoga poses, seemingly endless PT sessions, dice rolls, fun field trips up and down certain stairwells, lectures, practical exams, written exams, arguing test questions with the cadre, or simply the day in and day out grind of academy life, nobody on this stage today ever gave up. As we would often say to each other during times of adversity in academy, good. We all came from different backgrounds with varying levels of life experience, but we managed to come together and become a team, and even at times a somewhat dysfunctional family. One moment from Academy in particularly stands out. It was just a normal day like any other. The cadre lined the 8 of us up for PT after classes. There was that normal sense of nerves that generally seemed to hit us coincidentally around 2 p.m. every day. We proceeded to be put through, from what I remember, quite an intense interval training session. But it's not the pain from the lactic acid buildup, nor the burn of my lungs, nor Instructor Buxton yelling our names that stands out to me in my mind. It was looking around at the rest of my class and realizing that my pain was their pain, and their struggle was also mine. The small words of encouragement we could eke out between gasps for breath reminded me that we had each other's backs. After the workout, we came together for a small cheer. Just looking around, I could see that what had started as a group of strangers had now become just what the fire service is all about, a brother and sisterhood, looking out for one another, all working together to achieve a common goal. Today marks the end of one long journey and the beginning of a new one. I can honestly say this academy has been the most difficult yet most rewarding experiences of my life. The training cadre continuously made it clear to us that to work as a St. Paul firefighter, we needed to fulfill all the tasks at hand and pass every single test. Every single firefighter that has worked on the streets has endured the same rigorous curriculum and been held to the same standards. We are not special. We simply work to meet the bar that makes this department special. The fact that this process is not an easy one makes us proud to stand here today. Proud to be joining the ranks of one of the best and most storied departments in the country. Proud to have our names mentioned alongside the men and women who have come before us that have bravely protected and served the city of St. Paul. Proud to become just another piece of the strong tradition that is St. Paul Fire. As we move on from today and into this new and somewhat unknown territory, we will be forever tied together throughout our careers as the class of 22C. I encourage each of us to remember this feeling today. Remember to feel this sense of accomplishment and hold on to that. Remember what you were willing to sacrifice to get here. Whatever paths we took, whatever our motivations may have been, wherever our lives and careers may take us from today, we must never forget what brought us here and those that set the standard before us, particularly those who made the ultimate sacrifice. My wish for each and every one of us is to never become complacent in this career, to continue to build on the foundation of the basics that we have been given from this academy and show up every day trying to make this department and city just a bit better than it was when we got here. We have been given the tools to be successful, and it is now on us to continue to sharpen them. I'd like to conclude my speech with a quote from retired FDNY Lieutenant Ray McCormack from an address that he delivered at FDIC in 2009. It's a privilege to work in the fire service. It's a privilege to work with people who care about other people. It's a privilege to be accepted in the family of firefighters. Today is about finding your personal spark. If you're lucky, you find it right away. The fire service holds one out for each of us. Once you find it, keep it. Once you find it, share it. And once you find it, realize how truly fortunate you are. Learn all you can about the enemy, train, try new methods, and be careful out there. And remember to keep fire in your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. We have one more fun tradition, and that is a class video that tries to capture at least some of what the class went through for all of you to enjoy. Special thanks to Captain Anton Fehrenbach for putting together this year and the last few class videos. Again, thank you to Captain Fehrenbach for another great video. At this time, I'd like to ask Captain Justin Briggle to come up to the podium. Captain Briggle is Vice President of Local 21's St. Paul Firefighters Union and has taught previous academies. He is going to give you an explanation of the badge.
Justin Briggle, St. Paul Fire Department. I appreciate the honor of being here today. I want to congratulate Mark. Terrific speech. That's an honor. And before you guys hit the streets, I just wanted to clear any and all rumors, as I believe in honest communication, for you folks out there too, that I am not Mark Doman's identical twin. I used to look like that though. My wife's not buying it. The explanation of the badge. As previously mentioned, you are entering a profession filled with great symbolic traditions, some being centuries old. One such tradition is the Maltese Cross. During the Crusades, a band from the island of Malta, known as the Knights of St. John, gained an indisputable reputation for courage in battle. While attacking city walls, their enemies would hurl glass containers and flaming torches that were saturated with a flammable liquid known as naphtha, causing hundreds of knights to be burned alive. Those still standing risked their lives to save their brothers in arms from dying painful and fiery deaths. Their heroic efforts were recognized by fellow crusaders who awarded them the badge of honor, a Maltese Cross, similar to the one that you will wear on your left shoulder. The badge you are about to receive courageously reflects that symbolism. Perched on top of your badge is a phoenix, which is a mythological bird symbolizing new life rising out of the flames. The continuous rope and the chain around the outside of your badge symbolizes unbroken service and loyalty. The torch indicates your willingness to risk your life in an effort to help save those in need. Centuries ago, warriors wore a symbol of their weapon, which was used to reflect their expertise. When that weapon was crossed, it had been used during a hard-fought battle. On your badge are the crossed tools of a firefighter, which you have demonstrated proficiency throughout your academy. The badge is not just a piece of metal, rather a symbol that carries an obligation to protect and serve those in need. And there is no nobler obligation. As Chief Baker mentioned, I did help out with the first couple academies and was fortunate enough to read this reading to them. I was not part of this one, although I did feel very blessed to get the call to read it again. I felt very honored and, frankly felt kind of proud. Thought maybe I did a good job. He was quick to remind me that the two that he would rather have done were still out of town for the holidays, so. Sometimes honesty is not the best policy. He also told me, part of my discussion with the first two academies and congratulating them and welcoming them on behalf of Local 21 as well as his fellow firefighters. He asked me if, just because you cut your hair like Jake the Snake, we don't have to talk about WWE wrestling every single time, and which gave me pause because I didn't know what I was going to talk about. And he said, just talk about something that's inspirational, something that, reminds me of how great the profession is every day. And the year 1987 came to mind. And as we heard today, I think Chief Inks, you were hired in 1987, right around that time. Not to the Fire Department, Parks and Rec, and you managed to work your way up through every rank with the exception of FVO.
No, I was FEO.
You were FVO. Every single rank you touched on?
Except for training chief.
Except for training chief. So, again, round of applause for him. Truly inspirational, and I have to be a little bit careful here. I am a captain on probation, so I have to be somewhat gentle. I'm not going to say that there's somebody that inspires me more than Chief Inks. However, there is another date in 1987 that will forever be stuck in my mind. Chanel, stop. And I get a little emotional with this one, truth be told. It was on a Sunday, March 29th of 1987. A gentleman by the name of Terry Bollea. Is there anyone in here that's familiar with him? Do you know him? Who is it? No. It's Hulk Hogan. March 29th, 1987, Hulk Hogan was faced with his arch nemesis, Andre the Giant, who was 7 foot 6 inches tall, weighing 520 pounds. After a grueling wrestling match with all the Hulkamaniacs behind him, Hulk Hogan looked up, who was almost 12 inches taller than him, and had 200 pounds on him, and with all his might, fully sweating, battling for WrestleMania 3, he body slammed Andre the Giant for only the 12th time in his career he's done that. Afterwards, he told Mean Gene, "Brother, this is the best day of my life." So one of my big messages during the academy was learn to read the room. And I'm no psychic, but right now, and I'm not gonna look at him, but Chief Inks is trying to figure out why he promoted me. Tracy Blees from HR is wondering how she's gonna fire me. And my wife is wishing to hell she never said yes. I love you, babe. So let's get this train back on the tracks and make this about you. And we're gonna do that by talking about Hulk Hogan. We're gonna talk about passion, we're gonna talk about heavy lifting, and we're gonna talk about being a champion. And you guys have proved yourself through this academy. I'm very happy for you, truly. And my hope would be as you come on the line with us, and it doesn't matter rank and file, we are gonna be working side by side together to serve our bosses, which is the people that we serve and the people that call 911. And I hope every day you wake up, you enjoy coming to work. When those tones come out, regardless of what time of day it is, strap those boots on. And there's gonna be emergencies out there that we may not deem our emergencies, might not be an emergency to us, but take pride in the fact that it was an emergency to somebody. They picked up the phone and they called you and asked for help. As far as the heavy lifting goes, you're gonna lift heavy hoses, you're gonna lift heavy jaws of life. I hope it doesn't happen, but there's very few firefighters I know that haven't had to lift somebody out of a bad situation. And I can almost guarantee that's gonna happen, so prepare yourself for that. Lean on each other, and if you think you're tough and you don't need anyone to lean on, know that someone might need to lean on you, so be ready for that. And as far as being a champion, you're gonna see in public as we go around that people are gonna thank you, maybe consider you a hero, and that's okay. Thank them for supporting you. And what I like to say is be a champion. We're not gonna walk around and call ourselves heroes, but it's okay to say I wanna be a champion and do that for the people that we serve. And with that being said, congratulations, class of 22C. I look forward to working with you, and may you have a long, healthy career. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin, for reminding me why you were the third choice. Class of 2022-C, please rise and prepare for the badge presentation ceremony.
Ready to rise? Rise.
We'll ask that the audience hold your applause until the end of the presentation. Chief Inks and Chief Gady will be presenting them their badges and helmet fronts. Jesse Daly. Deontay Davis. Mark Dolman. Savannah Ree Hodges. Daniel Rice. John Schoengert. John Vitale. Robert Witt. Chief Inks, would you please administer the St. Paul Firefighter's Oath at this time?
Well, thank you. Class of 22C, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, John Schoengert,
Solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
that of the state of Minnesota,
that of the state of Minnesota,
all ordinances of the city of St. Paul,
all ordinances of the city of St. Paul,
and the rules and regulations of this department.
and the rules and regulations of this department.
I will strive to maintain
I will strive to maintain
a spirit of teamwork and cooperation
a spirit of teamwork and cooperation
with all personnel.
with all personnel.
I will seek to give only the highest example
I will seek to give only the highest example
of honesty, integrity, and good citizenship.
of honesty, integrity, and good citizenship.
I understand my behavior on and off duty
I understand my behavior on and off duty
affects the reputations of all firefighters.
affects the reputation of all firefighters.
I will at all times uphold the highest standard
I will at all times uphold the highest standards
of a professional firefighter
of a professional firefighter
and the proud traditions of the St. Paul Fire Department.
and the proud traditions of the St. Paul Fire Department.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present the class of 2022C.